guys, AudieoVisual. You might have seen this new effect I made in my upcoming level Wonk, right? And I've had a lot of people ask me how it's made. Well, believe it or not, it's all centered around one insane new 2.2 trigger, the gradient trigger. Basically, this trigger allows you to draw a polygon between any four objects, much like I did with the particle trigger in the last video. If you haven't seen it, I want to mess around with the gradient trigger a little bit and also teach people how to use it. Once you get the hang of it, it's honestly pretty simple despite what the interface would lead you to believe. So I hope I can inspire some people to mess around with it themselves and make some really cool stuff. All right, so I'm in a new level, platform mode enabled, camera zoomed out, and I'm ready to start making some insane stuff, dude. First things first, I just want to show you guys how to use this trigger, right? So the default for the gradient trigger for some reason is just to spawn a gradient in the background, which I mean, fair, but it has way more interesting uses when you kind of delve deeper into the settings of it. First things first, we want to enter vertex mode. This uses single points, bottom left, top right, instead of sides, up, down, left, right. It's as easy as literally taking any object in the editor and creating points. The only thing that really matters is that you give each dot that you want to draw the shape inside of different groups. Okay, so I have each dot labeled with their group, and it's time to fill in this shape with a gradient. It's literally as simple as this. We take the bottom left dot, which is group 3, the bottom right dot, which is group 4, the top left dot, which is group 1, and then the top right is 2. And all of a sudden, boom, we have a shape. This doesn't look that impressive yet, but just wait until we add some colors in it. This probably doesn't look that impressive on its own, but when you realize you can just move the dots to wherever you want, it becomes a lot more powerful. And this is why it's one of the most powerful triggers in the game. Hopefully me messing around with it in this video today will kind of show you guys just how crazy it is. You go into edit special, it has blending modes. You have normal, additive, multiply, and invert, right? These might seem a little daunting at first, but once you understand how each one works, it's super simple. So every time you make a new gradient trigger, just make sure it has a new effect ID, which you can do by clicking this. Build helpering the gradients will do that automatically for you, so that is super helpful. Gradient triggers and just making gradient shapes on their own is already pretty cool, but when paired with certain kinds of effects, they are so unbelievable. Pairing with other kinds of effects is exactly how I made the effect I made in Wonk, the spinning 3D pyramid thing. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. But instead of making a 3D pyramid today, I'm gonna make a 3D spinning cube, which should be really cool. All right, so I have the whole thing basically set up, and believe it or not, it really is this simple. But what I have going here is I have one square rotating around a center point right here, and then each of these dots have a unique group. And then I have a second square, which I made by literally just taking this and squishing it down on the y-axis. Super simple. I scaled it down by 0.5, so it is now half as small on the y-axis. Now keep that in mind. Now we're gonna use the OG, the goated follow triggers, right? This dot will follow this dot, this dot will follow this dot, this dot will follow this dot, and this dot will follow that dot. Super simple. In the follow trigger menu, you want to change the Y modifier to whatever you scaled your shape down by. So I scaled it down by 0.5, so we will set it to 0.5, and that will give it accurate 3D movement, which is really, really sick. Now we have a proper rotating like 3D square shape, right? Super cool. In 2.1, it was really easy. All you would have to do is just make a copy of it and move it down, and then boom, it's a 3D rotating cube. It's pretty cool, right? Obviously now with 2.2 though, we have way more options, and when we use this with a gradient trigger, can produce some insane visuals. Okay, so I have my 3D shape extended, right? And now I have to give each one of these a unique group. On top of the unique groups they already have to follow the shape, there will be 24 total groups right here. The only difficult part now will be assigning 6 different gradient triggers for every side of the cube. So I'm gonna skip over that. You guys know how to do it. All right, with that final trigger done and every single gradient trigger on a different effect ID, I believe the rotating cube should be finished now. Oh, dude, that looks so sick. That looks so cool. So for example, I'll show you how I did the left side. I knew that it would be over here, so I took the bottom left, which would be here, which is 11, bottom right, which would be 14, top left, which would be 15, and the top right, which would be 18. And all I'd have to do is add all of those values into the gradient trigger, and I would be good to go. One really cool thing you can do with gradient triggers is just stretch around your shape freely. Like, look at this. This looks nuts. Dude, that looks so sick. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, it's foul how powerful this trigger is. I want to try messing around with a couple different blending options on it. So for example, what if I made the top and bottom multiply? How would that look? Ooh, see, this is what I'm talking about. This looks so crazy. The hardest part of this is genuinely just like setting it all up, because once you have it set up, you can just like do whatever the frick you want, and it's amazing. But now with 2.2, I can just do whatever the frick I want. Are you seeing this effect I just made? What is that? Goop, I am popping off so hard. That looks so insane. Once you get the base set up, it's easy from there. We don't have to have these dots visible either. If we hide them, boom. Now we just have a perfect rotating 3D shape. That looks so crazy. That looks so insane. All right, I'm gonna try putting 2 of the sides on multiply. I need to see this in game. I actually desperately need to see this in game because this is so crazy. Wow, dude. What a nutty looking effect. And this is all just with a follow trigger effect and messing with the blending modes on gradient triggers. And you can make insane stuff like this. Oh my gosh. All right, what if I extended this super high? I think I just, did I just invent this effect? Like, I've never seen anyone do this before. Wow, that looks so crazy. That's like some crazy hue masking type stuff, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh, Apple alarm jump scare. My bad. Anyways, as I was saying, this is crazy. I'm dead serious. This might beat the gosh dang particle trigger for my favorite new effect because this is so insane looking. I'm going to keep that over there. I want to make a couple other effects though. I don't want to just make a rotating shape. I have other ideas in my head, right? Oh, another thing I really want to try is parallax with a gradient trigger because I'm pretty sure that's possible. I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. All right, if you're kind of looking at it right now, you might already see where I'm going with this. How does this be functioning in game, right? Like, is it kind of neat? Okay, it still looks a little weird, but I think it's like, it works, you know, it works. It's fine. You know, besides the obvious uses for the gradient trigger, like insane effects or weird parallaxes, you can also just make like really cool structures with it, you know? Actually, I have one last idea for this effect I was working on. You know what? I wonder, what if I like layer these on top of each other? If this ends up looking cool, I'm liking and subscribing, guys, to myself. Oh, what on earth is that? Oh, my mind hurts trying to understand what I'm looking at. It looks too crazy. Yeah, look how cool that is. Just a regular cube, but with everything on 2x scale makes it like grow and shrink in a really cool way. Ooh, do I dare rotate it? This is how you make the most fricked up effect ever. That looks so cool, dude. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. Tweaking around with stuff is so fun because look how crazy this looks with 2.2 and like you can just do anything. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't even matter. Including gradient triggers and like triggers for the effect. This is 24 objects. That is nuts. Is there any way I could scale this circle? You can scale the shapes in real time? Oh my gosh, I am popping off so hard. What the frick did I do? Help. How did I do that? Being able to scale like that is so powerful. Couldn't I just have like a live scaling and rotating 3D cube? That is crazy, dude. Yeah, I mean, what can I even say, y'all? It is just so crazy looking. Nothing's gonna beat this effect for me. This is the pinnacle of insane stuff with the gradient trigger. Like, that looks so crazy to me. I guess as per video tradition, I could see if this lags. How about that? You already know we cranked it up to 999, of course. Nothing, dude. I think that's a testament to how well Geometry Dash has been optimized in 2.2, you know? I guess that's about it. I just wanted to show you guys how the gradient trigger works and then give some cool examples of crazy stuff you can do with it. I went a little bit crazy just making insane stuff, I will admit. It was super fun doing it. I had a lot of fun. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this explanation video. Hopefully it inspires you to kind of try and mess around with the gradient trigger yourself, you know? So yeah, with that being said...